What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for coming to hang out with me today. As you guys can see, we are back on Forza Motorsport 6, and we are doing another installment of our Battle Royale series. Now, this was supposed to be up yesterday, but I was busy hanging out with some family, and I really didn't have time to get out 2 videos. So, I decided I would do it today. Now, the cars that I have chosen today, as you guys can see on the screen, we have the Ferrari, LaFerrari, and we're going to be going up against the McLaren P1. And yeah, in terms of upgrades, we're not going to be doing anything because they are already hypercars. And as always, we're going to leave them with stock tuning. Now, before I get into the video, I just want to say, if you guys do enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. That'd be really awesome. That helps the channel get discovered. And also, if you guys are brand new, don't forget to subscribe. We are so close to 100 subscribers, and it would be absolutely awesome if we can get there here before too long. But without further ado, let's go to the racetrack, shall we? Right, so the track that I chose today was the Silverstone, the full layout of it, simply because it's got a nice combination of sweeping corners, long straightaways, and hard braking zones, medium braking zones, everything we can really throw at these cars to test them. Now, if you guys are new to this series, up in the top right-hand corner, there'll be a little eye that pops up if you guys are watching on mobile, and you guys can also go and check out the playlist and all the other episodes in the series. But essentially what we're looking at is the lap time, first of all. We're looking at drivability, approachability, and overall wackiness of the car, whether that be the stupid amounts of power that we have, or whatever the case may be. But by the end of the episode, what I want to do is try and determine which of these two cars I prefer, because the winner is going to go against the 918 Spider. So, with the rules being out of the way, give our little Ferrari a nice little rev, and we are going to set off. Now, this is quite a bit faster than the cars that we typically drive on the channel, so it is going to take us a little while, or it's going to take me a little while. You guys are going to sit there and laugh at me, but it's going to take me a little while to get used to the power of these cars and kind of how they drive. I don't typically drive these hypercars because I don't really like to. However, the Ferrari, I've driven it a little while. I've been driving it around. I kind of get a feel for it. Same with the McLaren. And these two cars are really awesome. I absolutely love these cars. And this is a phenomenal racetrack. One of my favorite racetracks in the world. I would seriously love to come here someday. And yeah, so what we're going to be doing is we have 4 flying laps. Or no, 4 laps, 3 flying laps. Sorry, I was too busy looking at the timestamp at the top right. But yeah, we're gonna give them 4 laps, and that's all they get. Mistakes or whatever, anything goes. So we've got this first lap. It's kind of an opening lap to kind of see how the car handles on the racetrack. Now, I have not driven it on this racetrack yet. As I would imagine, I would expect it to get really squirrely on the curb, so I don't really want to use them all too much. But yeah, we're gonna use this first lap, kind of get used to the car, and quite possibly see if we can learn a little bit about the car and the track combination. But the first impressions of the Ferrari on this racetrack is it's really nice and stable in the mid gears and mid-speed corners. Coming out of the slower things, it's a bit testy, but nothing that can't be monitored. As you can imagine, it's got a lot of grip while you're coming off of the corners. That corner in particular felt really, really nice. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to come around this corner, and we're going to get into our first of our 3 main flying laps. So I'll see if we can get a good, clean entry onto the straightaway. And here we go. Now, I don't want to lose it over the curb, so shooting down to turn 1, I want to make sure I get nice and slow down. This is a really deceptive corner. And you got carried out a little bit wide. You got a little bit of understeer in the front end. You have to be really careful. This is a mid-engine car, so you want to do all of your braking before the corner if you can help it. Sometimes you can, especially on this racetrack. So just be aware of that if you guys are looking to... I don't know, I'm sure most of you guys have driven these cars, but if you haven't, just be aware. These are mid-engine and they are definitely snappy on brakes. So just be aware, but it's nothing that can't be dealt with. Now, you do have to attack the brakes in a way that they feel aggressive, but you've got to remember you're going a lot faster than you normally would be. Now, this corner This is one of those corners, man, that you feel like you're losing so much time until you realize how slow you actually have to go there. And it almost like bothers me, like to an extent that I feel like I'm just going so slow, especially in a car like this, where I know that I can get upwards of 200 miles an hour. Yeah, but the car, you know, you're only going 50 there, and it just, I don't know, it feels excruciatingly slow, and sometimes it's hard for me to wrap my brain around the fact that you have to go that slow there. I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling right now. This is my favorite part of the racetrack, that little quick left-right section right there. I absolutely enjoy that. Now, coming down here, this next corner I always have issues with for some reason. I want to do my best not to go up into 7th gear. Stay into 6th, break in a straight line. Oh, I got a little squirrely right there. I think I downshifted a little bit too early, and that kind of kicked the rear end out, but that was definitely expected. And luckily, we were able to notice that and catch that in time before anything bad happened to our multi-million-dollar hypercar. So, I will say that was a successful second lap. I feel like there are definitely places we can be faster, especially this first corner, so I want to make sure I get nice and slow. Get turned in. That was a little bit better. We didn't carry as much speed there, but we did hold that inside line, which was nice and lovely. So that is definitely preferred. Make sure we get slowed down enough right here. This is another really awesome set of corners. I love these corners. Again, they're kind of like that right-hand corner. Now you have to go so slow. Yeah, you're able to carry so much speed coming off of it. And we got a really nice exit right there. Don't want to get into the grass too much. 2/10 down, so we lost a little bit of time on that first corner. So I want to make sure we clean this up just a little bit. You guys can see I'm trail braking just a little bit. I'm not doing too much. And again, we are kind of having a little bit of a understeer into that right-hand corner, but that's okay. I think what I need to do is brake a little bit before I have been, especially on these cars. I'm not used to being able to carry so much speed into those corners. So just a little bit of a future reference for myself. I want to make sure we get nice and slowed down. That was much better. We might not be carrying as much speed, but we are definitely going a lot neater, which is definitely preferred. Get the curves just enough to rotate, and you want to make sure you get these curves also. This is definitely a curb-friendly racetrack, which I'm a curb horse, so I definitely enjoy that. I like to use curbs because why the fuck not? But yeah, I wanted to do these cars simply because it's one of those rivalries that I shouldn't have gone to 6th gear or 7th gear. And we still went a little bit too wide, but we are 6/10 up, so maybe we can keep that speed in our bag. I don't know. But yeah, this was an okay lap. We didn't really we didn't get as loose going into that right-hand section before we got to those little chicanes, which is definitely always preferred. But now we are coming on to the last lap. So what we need to do, we need to see if we can find any more speed. Oh, 7/10 up. That's kind of surprising, to be honest. We got nice and turned in right there. That was fantastic. And I want to make sure we get turned in right here. Breaking a straight line. That was much better. Definitely carried more speed into the corner and out. And throughout, I should say, all the way through the corner. And get turned in some more. I got a little bit of understeer, but it's okay. Really nice, awesome drive coming off of that corner. We definitely didn't get turned in enough right there, but I think that we might not have lost too much time, so I want to make sure that we get slowed down enough for these corners. See if we can maybe clean this up a bit. I like to go a little wide, take a late apex right here, come down to 3rd, and make sure we get slowed down enough so we can hold the inside just like that. This is what we should have done last time around. And again, we held a really good line right there. So let's see if we can hold this car for the rest of the lap and maybe get a nicer lap and a faster lap than what we got last time around. I don't know. Hello there, King Divine. How's it going? I usually turn those off, but you know, whatever. That was fantastic through that corner. That was great. That was a nice entry, wonderful exit. Nice and stable. This car is so much fun to drive around this racetrack. I want to make sure you get nice and tidy. Got a little understeer, but again, I don't think we're losing too much time. We probably lost a bit right there, but that's okay. Really, this is the main corner I want to focus on in the Ferrari. I think that If I can get the car to turn in, I'm not going to go up to 7th anymore. Not like I did last time around. Make sure I brake. Look at that. That was much, much better. Okay. I think I'm maybe slowly learning how to take that corner. Okay, so we've got just a few more corners to go. Make sure we can keep these nice and clean and keep the car straight. That would definitely help out in the long run. Okay, that was a wonderful run. Wonderful run. Full throttle coming onto the front stretch. Don't bounce around the curbs too much. We ran 500ths slower. God, we were up, but I think when we ran across the curbs coming off of that final corner, we definitely lost a little bit of steam there. So let's take a look at the lap time that we are rocking with. We got 204.5. 204.5. So that is a pretty damn good time for a stock road-going car. That is mighty impressive. Wow. The car overall felt amazing. It felt nice and steady. And it got a little squirrely at times, but I think mostly due to my premature shifting, if you would. And overall, the car felt amazing. I mean, this is exactly what you would expect in terms of a Ferrari, in terms of a hypercar. This is everything that you would want. It's nice, it's fast, it stops, which is very important in a hypercar. You know, you're going fast enough. If you can't stop, then good luck. But yeah, the car itself actually felt pretty awesome. So now, all we've got to do is go get the McLaren. Right, so we've got the McLaren. We have drugged the monster out of the beast. Now, this is my favorite hypercar, and obviously we are on the exact same racetrack. But the lap time that we've got to beat is a 204.585. So, I may not remember that lap time by the time we end this session, but I do prefer this car a lot more, so I'm probably going to be a little bit more pushy with it. But anyway, that being said, just listen to it. Yeah, I love this thing. So, we are going to take off. Obviously, we're only going to use 4 laps. It's all fair. And the car is completely stock. But, yeah, I do definitely prefer the McLaren more. I prefer it more in looks and in overall anything you can think of. I'm a kind of a McLaren fanboy, if you guys would kind of like to call it that. I always have been. But, yeah, so I'm definitely hoping that this car can put up a mighty quick lap time. I hope that it can. I think it can. And right off the bat, it definitely feels like it's a little bit more stable on the lower speed corners. And I think that is going to be a big key. But the question is, how well does it stop compared to the Ferrari? Nice. It handles that little bit right there. Fantastic. However, now we are in the grass. Okay, so doing a little bit of rallycross in a McLaren P1. That is definitely not the preferred way to drive this car. But whatever, we are going to take what we can get the car. But yeah, it definitely feels a lot more stable in the lower speed corners, as well as in the brakes. However, it does feel like the front end is a little bit more pushy than the Ferrari. The Ferrari seemed to get turned in just a little bit better, but I don't know if it's because my tires are cold or if I am just completely driving like a moron. But yeah, I'm definitely got a lot more confidence in the McLaren than I did with the Ferrari. So I am definitely going to push the shit out of this car. But yeah, so the first lap has gone relatively eventful. Again, I don't think we're going to reach the 7th gear. Make sure we get nice and slow right here. Maybe get to about... Yeah, probably going to have to brake a little bit before then. But I wish there were some more braking boards there. That'd really help. And if I am, I'm just not looking off in the right direction, which is definitely possible. However, that being said, I think that this first lap has been learn-worthy. I think we've learned quite a bit about the car. And now it's time to see how the car will do in terms of performance to the Ferrari. I want to make sure I get nice and slow down right here. Get this curb. It handles that fantastically well. That makes me very happy. And it does actually, you know what? I said that I thought the Ferrari got turned in better, but now I don't know. Because we were able to carry that corner at 130 flat out. So, I might have been a little bit too quick to speak on that front, but you never know. The lap time has not spoken yet. And it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely a hell of a lot more stable in the corners, and I definitely like that more. Make sure we get slowed down nice and early. I don't want the rear end to step out like that. Oh, that was kind of sloppy. But we're gonna take what we can get and not get into the grass like we did last time around. I'm gonna hug this inside line. It takes forever to get around this corner, but we're gonna take what we can get. That was nice. Got a little bit of a slide coming off of that corner, but nothing that will kill us, which is always nice. You know, the Widowmaker will, it has its way of kind of scaring the shit out of people, but literally. But yeah, this thing absolutely just feels fantastic. You know, you get it over to the curbs, and it just hooks up, man. This thing is such a monster. And oh, make sure I get slowed down. I was kind of pushing my luck right there, kind of entered in a little bit too shallow, but I think we're gonna be just fine. Get turned in, please. Again, I just have so much more confidence when it comes to delivering the power. And I think that's a big thing, you know, especially when you're doing like a battle series like this. It definitely goes a long way to have a car that you can chuck around and kind of not scare you when you're delivering the power. Now that was a little sloppy, but it was definitely a lot quicker than the last time around. So I think we're on for a fairly decent second lap. I do know there are some areas we can get faster, but we handled that left-hand corner just fine. And I don't want to get onto the curbs over here. This is a relatively sketchy car over the curbs, I would imagine. But we're coming up. Oh, wow. I think we have not quite beaten the Ferrari. Not yet, at least. But I do think that there are some places on the track where we can be faster. We were definitely a little bit too shallow right there, so we're going to have to clean that up for our last lap around. But that is okay. We did that okay. We were kind of bouncing around that curb a little bit too much, but nothing that we can't handle. And turn in, please. Get turned in. Nope. I think this lap is pretty much a throwaway lap, but that is okay. Every now and then that does happen. But yeah, this thing is such a fantastic car to drive. Such a phenomenal car. Now, I have actually seen one of these things at a car show a long time ago, back when they first came out, and was absolutely blown away with the amount of carbon fiber that is hidden throughout the vehicle itself. You know, it's such a cool car to see up close and in person. It's just like, kind of like satisfied my inner fanboy, which was really awesome. Really awesome. Really hard on the brakes right there. I want to make sure I get turned in, and booted coming off to the curbs. We didn't overstep anything that we can't handle. I know that didn't really make all that much sense, but I'm kind of trying to focus on the car right now, so I do apologize for my shoddy English. I do promise I can speak English just fine. I passed my English class with flying colors, but I wasn't driving the Widowmaker anytime during my school days. So, coming up the final stretch, I want to make sure we can clean up this corner just a bit. Brake a little bit earlier than normal, brake really hard. Okay, that was probably a little bit too early, but we did get nice and turned in, which is really what we want. Now, if I can do that next lap around, we might be able to get a solidly decent lap and a fairly quick lap. Oh, please get stopped. Thank you. You can just hear it. We are definitely testing the limits of the McLaren. That is such a fantastic car. I love it. Such a cool thing to listen to, man. I would seriously love to be able to drive one. Missed a shift like a bitch. Make sure we get nice and slowed down right here. I probably shouldn't have gone to fourth gear, but I did. Oh well, I don't want to lose as much speed as we did coming around here on the last lap. Brake in a straight line. Make sure we brake, slow down, get turned in. Thank you. Now this is the last lap. This is do or die. Got a little sideways. No! Ah, we have lost it. No, we lost it. Ah, just pushing a little bit too much from the McLaren. Asking too much of it, and I overstepped my boundaries just a bit. So, let's take a look at our lap time. Let's see what we were rocking with. The 204.8. So, we were about 204.9 is 8.898. So, yeah, 204.9. So, we were about 3.5 seconds slower than the Ferrari, but overall, between the two, out of the two cars, I must say that the McLaren was a hell of a lot easier to drive. And I'm tempted, if I wouldn't have thrown this lap away like I did, I do believe that we would have been able to find those 4.5 tenths. Yeah, you know, these two cars, they both drive as you would imagine. They're both high-powered hypercars, everything you would imagine them to be. They're fast, they're grippy, They're crazy in the styling. Their aerodynamics are a thing of wonders and a thing of science, and it's just they're so awesome. These things are art on wheels. I absolutely love anything that's remotely close to a hypercar. My I would have liked to have done the 1-to-1, but I wanted to keep it between this trio. And yeah, however, I think between the two cars, I've got to give it to the McLaren. You know, it's the overall approachability of the car. It's so much easier to drive than the Ferrari is. You know, and the Ferrari, yeah, like I said, you know, it had a faster lap time, about 4.5 tenths. But I think if I wouldn't have overstepped the boundaries of the McLaren, I think that we would have been able to find that and maybe even beat it by a good couple of tenths. So yeah, I think, you know, I've got to give it to the McLaren. You know, just drivability, approachability, craziness. Oh, the Ferrari looks a little bit more crazy than the McLaren does, but yeah, the McLaren overall was just such a better car to drive. However, guys, that is going to be it. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Like I said, if you guys do enjoy this video, don't forget to like this and share it around if you guys do see that it is worthy of a share. It would mean the world to me. And also, if you guys are brand new and you enjoyed this, if you guys would like to see more, don't forget to subscribe and tell me in the comments below what cars you think you guys would like to see kind of battle it out. You know, I'm thinking of maybe doing a Subaru and a Mitsubishi, and, you know, like the Impreza versus the Evo. I think that could be a lot of fun. And obviously next week I'm going to be doing the McLaren versus the 918. And yeah, but if you guys would like to see some specific cars, tell me in the comments below. However, guys, that's it from me. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And until next time.